how lonely it is to not being seen, not even by yourself. And let me tell you, you're the hardest person for you to come to terms with. Yet, you're somehow the hardest person for you to accept that must change. There is a persona. This is a Jungian concept. This is a well understood concept in psychology and even talked about by philosophers that we have a persona. We have an image that we project to the public. Growing up, whatever we were taught is the right thing to do, is the right impression, is somehow the right person to be. We idolize that person, that, let's say, imaginary person, and then we try to come to terms with that imaginary person and project ourselves as that, because we believe that this persona that we have, people will like us for that. We cannot really ignore the internal desire, the internal need for validation to be seen, and we seek it outside. We look for it outside, and based on all the standards of morality, all the standards of an ideal person that we receive from the world, that we receive from society, from our culture, from our family, from the people around us, we try to judge us. We try to judge if we are enough for who we are. And based on that, we treat ourselves, good or bad. But let me tell you, not everybody, or rather, nobody at all, is who they project themselves to be in front of you, or in front of the world, or on camera like right now. I am not exactly the person I am here. There are parts of me, there are parts of you, there are parts of everybody, but that would be rather controversial, rather something that you wouldn't want to let other people know. And according to psychology, you would call that your shadow. Carl Jung calls the process of integrating yourself, your persona, your shadow, your animus, let's not get confused with the terms, but all these parts of you, individuation. It leads you to peace, to come to terms with yourself. And if you know the series called Peaky Blinders, it is a journey of Tommy Shelby, the character, who is in conflict with himself. This series has many characters like Arthur Shelby, and these people are pretty much in conflict with themselves. They have a shadow, the part of themselves that they force, that they cannot accept, and they have a part of themselves that they are not familiar with, and it's constant battle somehow. He starts to see spirits and such, and you don't have to believe in that, but you can take that as a metaphor to see that sometimes our own self haunts us, and that journey is our own. That whole journey of being haunted by ourselves and the parts of us that we do not accept, the parts of us that we do not come to terms with, we do not give kindness to. That journey of battle, of war, is our own. But you must understand that the whole point of this process of individuation is integration, to be whole, to be complete, to be honest with yourself as you are, and to not lie to yourself, to be honest. Let's start there. Let's not worry about what's right and what's wrong. Sometimes this whole, as Nietzsche says, that morality somehow, in some way, the concepts of good and evil has been used historically by organizations to control you, I understand. In some cases, let's not worry about the good and evil right now, but let's start with honesty with yourself. How important it is for you to be honest with yourself and be kind to you. That's what you need, right? That's what will give you peace with yourself, when you can see those parts of you with kindness and with love. Then maybe we can talk about being loving and kind to other people, in general, the right person, the ideal person, and all that. But this is the starting point. The whole process, the point is to be whole again. It is not to have multiple personalities, that I have this part, that part, this part, that part. We need to use that language to explain, to talk, to teach. It's a tool, that's all it is. But it is to understand that underlying every process in the universe, there is a unifying force. And each one of us, each one of divisions that we create is part of it. And starting point to feel peace, to feel some form of break, like a pause from all this conflict, all the things that we are feeling, the desperation, the despair, is to be honest with yourself first for who you are. And then let's worry about the good and evil later. And maybe by being honest and by seeing people, because once you understand yourself, you can see other people for who they are. Maybe that will bring kindness and more love into the world, into your heart. Maybe that's what's going to help us be more kind to each other, be understanding, relating to each other more. And then the whole topic of what is right, what is wrong, what is good, and what is evil, it's a very complicated topic. But I do wish to talk about it sometime, and hopefully I will be able to make a video about that and discuss with more people about that. For we do need to come together in order to really understand, to really feel peace. It is central to human experience. To see each other, to be rational for sure, but also it is, to some extent, it is a need. That's what makes us human, to feel for each other. Thank you.